Welcome to Silverstone. This ground here is rich with history, a former airfield that served in the Second World War and now hosts one of the oldest and most iconic races in motorsport. It's the Formula One British Grand Prix. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Lando Norris will lead us away from pole position, and Yuki Tsunoda completes the front row. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Antonelli, Piastri, and Sir Lewis Hamilton, and Leclerc, Russell, Verstappen, Hadjar, and Lance Stroll, Lawson, Albon, Fernando Alonso, and Sainz, Gasly, Behrman, Nico Hülkenberg, and Gabriel Bortoleto, Ocon, and Jack Doohan rounds off the grid. Now it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track. And striding into our commentary box to join us today, the man, the myth, the legend, Anthony Davidson. Now, I'll be generous here. It's not that long ago that you were racing and entertaining us on a Sunday. But in the years since, the sport has changed quite a bit, hasn't it?
Yeah, it really has, Crofty. You know, the cars have got bigger, they're heavier, but critically, there's more downforce to play with as well now. There was about 4 tons of downforce on the car at 300 kilometers an hour when I drove. You're now looking more towards 5 tons of downforce. So there's a big difference in performance. But because of that, the car being heavier and bigger, you've got to drive in a smoother way. You've got to look after it a bit more. You've got to nurse it through the slow speed corners more. They were much more nimble, agile machines when I drove in Formula 1 compared to now.
All right, let's have a quick radio check, please. Radio check.
Radio check.
You might experience some understeer now that you're in the wake of the car ahead. Try to get past as soon as possible. Nice move, good job. Okay, final lap, let's go, final lap. You're increasing the gap on the car behind by 0.5 a lap. Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
Yeah, we'll come back stronger.
Here's the checkered flag, the fans. From lights out to the checkered flag, each and every driver has this moment in the back of their mind. Now it's time for their celebrations. Our podium, it awaits. He raises the trophy over his head. Lando Norris, head and shoulders above the rest today.